Boom. Welcome to the Cigar Talk Live. We are not too loud for you.
No, I think I can live
A
it.
little too
I
loud
sound like a
for
little
me.
too loud, not loud for me.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay,
Nice.
I don't
Much
see a
better.
difference.
Anyway, guys, we're going to be hopefully having a guest here shortly. We've booked someone, but he's down in Nicaragua.
Ooh,
So, you know, sometimes they don't have the best internet.
yep,
I'm
yep.
just going to put that up right up front.
Gotta go where the Leafs are.
And so let's see if I can, you know what, let's make sure that we're connected here. And make sure I'm on the phone here. We're on Tascam. Yep, there we go.
And by the way, good evening and happy Tuesday, Cigar Talk family.
Happy
We are happy to be
Tuesday.
here.
Yeah.
Election day.
Call Yanko to see if we can get him.
I'm getting on, my friend.
Hey, how you doing, Yanko?
Hello.
Can you hear me, Yanko?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, I sent you a link, and you can join us whenever you're ready, buddy.
Yes, yes. I'm getting. Where do you send the link? As a text?
Okay, sounds good.
Did you
Thank
send
you,
a
sir.
link as a text? Yes, yes, yes. He sent it as a text.
All right.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I'm jumping in.
All right,
Jump
thanks,
in.
Yanko. All right, sounds like he's going to be able to make it, guys. You're in for a treat. Yanko is actually down in Nicaragua. He spends a lot of time down there.
Yeah,
And, I mean,
Keep an eye on
that's a
stuff.
testament.
commitment, quality control.
I mean, he lives in
Dedication.
Florida. He lives in Ybor City, Tampa area. I mean, that's paradise.
Yes.
But he spends a lot of time down in Nicaragua because that's where they do a lot of his business.
Mhm.
And so I'm getting ready to light up a mic from Tabanero. It is I believe it is a 3 3/4 by 60 with a torpedo tip.
Right. It's a different kind
To
of cigar.
remind you of something. 3 inches and 3/4 with a torpedo tip. Let's get him in here.
All right.
Yanko, can you hear his brother? Can you hear
Hold
us?
on, I can't hear you.
Can he hear us? Yeah, we can't hear him.
So, you know what? Let me do something right quick. Test. Boom. Audio. Do we hear? Okay. We don't hear. Muted.
Can make a difference.
There's something. All right. Then let's make sure our audio is going out. Yep. Sounds good. Got it perfectly adjusted. Cameras are good. And all right. So now can you hear us, Yanko?
Yes, sir. We're good. We're good.
All right. All right. You're very low, Yanko.
Very low.
Now, your microphone, can you bring the microphone closer or is it on your phone?
I'm using a microphone, but when I use the microphone, I can't hear you guys.
Ah, look, I got you now. Hey, we're good now. It was all me, brother. And I don't know where that music's coming from, but we got to figure that out. You're not in a lounge, are you? So, Yanko, I think you got some music going on over there. He's jamming out, man. Hey, will you turn that AC on just a little bit, bud? It's a little toasty in here for me. Is it toasty for you? A little bit. Hey, guys, while we're waiting on Yanko to, like, get that romantic music figured out, I'm smoking the Mike by Tabanero, and let me tell you what, I've been enjoying the crap out of these.
I'm gonna get on one of those next.
Okay, so I've muted his mic, and we're still getting the music, so it's coming from somewhere else.
Yeah, as soon as you hit the S button is when I started hearing music.
Well, let's go back in there and see if is Yanko's dancing over there.
I don't know where's the music coming from. It's not my phone.
It's okay. I thought you were like entertaining some people over there. So.
No. Let me jump in again.
Hey, Jax, thanks for jumping in. Yeah, I'm going to like take you out and we'll bring you back in.
We love music.
See, it's still going.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet it's on my phone. But I have it muted, so.
I wonder what you were listening to.
Yeah, that's not my kind of jam.
Sam, when you went outside, did you hear the music through your? Oh, that's not a good thing.
Okay, it looks like it's coming from. All right, Yanko, we have figured it out.
All right. I thought I was doing something wrong.
No, it was all me.
Operator
it was all
error.
me. You know, this whole live thing is kind of new to us, and it's been a lot of fun, but it's also like a new learning curve. And so we're excited to be doing it. Thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you.
Tell everybody where you are.
I'm in Esteli, Nicaragua.
Esteli.
Yes, sir.
That's where the magic happens.
The cigar capital of the world right now.
I hear you.
I mean, no one's even close to Esteli, right? I mean, there's a lot of other producers that make a lot of cigars, but Esteli is the capital by a mile.
Yeah, it's the Mecca right now. You know, that they have took the industry to another level.
So, Yanko, I don't believe Larry's had the pleasure of meeting you, and this is my co-host, Larry.
Good evening. Good evening. Good
Larry,
to see you.
good evening. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. And when I'm finished this cigar I have right now, I'm gonna delve off into one of the delicious cigars that you have sent us. So thank you for putting out such a consistently fantastic quality.
And thank you for all the support.
Great
Thank you very much.
Hey, and notice he said the consistent. Your cigars are so consistent.
Oh yeah.
It's not easy. It's
right.
Not easy.
Well,
but my friends asked me, Yanko, how you do it that
You buy, I smoke a Big Daddy today, and then I come back in 6 months, and it tastes the same. I said, well, I learned my numbers, and I try to do the whole year batch. So during the year, when you're smoking Big Daddies, they're all going to taste the same.
Okay.
So buying the right tobacco, plenty of amount, that if by any chance you did a miscalculation, you end up having more tobacco than less, and then be running around trying to find to complete the quota.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, you gotta. I mean, hey, you make it sound a lot easier than what it actually is, though.
No, it's not easy. It's not easy. I'm not kidding. I'm just trying to minimize it, but it's not easy.
Right. You're giving the overview, but it's. I mean, that's one of the reasons you spend so much time down in Nicaragua.
Yep. And I have friends. I have met good people in this industry, and I guess because I expect highly of what I'm going to deliver, and I have a sensitive palate. It's easy for me to spot when something is not all the way fermented, when it's not the right time. So I have a lot of friends usually asking me to share some advice. And it's a scary when you're trying to find someone to help these people because they're looking to do smaller batches, and it's scary. It's scary because there's many people doing an excellent job in Esteli, in Nicaragua, no doubt. But the ones that we can approach, the little guy can approach, you really have to move down here and be watching your production most of the time if you want really good results.
And talk about that for a minute, because I think we've seen a big uptick in a lot of people coming to market with small batches. And I think one of the reasons or what drives that is you make a batch and you're done. That takes a lot of the work off your shoulders because you don't have to keep going with that same level of keeping the flavor profile the same. You don't have to worry about the crops. It's like a one and done. It's a lot easier that way.
Yeah, it's a lot easier, and I think it's depending on which sector of the industry you want to be. I can talk about my experience. It's always been direct sell to the customer. I'm not as successful as I can be when it comes to wholesale, and I'm not in a rush. I think I like to prioritize first my clients. Those 100 clients, they love what I do. And a small batch, when you doing strictly retail, you just got to be careful to make sure that every year you have your batch. But when someone is coming out with a small batch for wholesale, I think it will be pretty difficult because how are you going to brand yourself if you're always running out of cigars? A lot of small retailers, they give you an opportunity to bring your small batch, but next thing you know, they call you to order more, and you're already out of your 150,000 cigars that you did because it was a small batch. By the time you do them again, or
So is 150,000 cigars a small batch?
I think between 25 to 150, yeah, it's a small batch.
Okay. Because if you sent me 150,000 cigars, that wouldn't be a small batch for me.
We'd be very happy. It'd be a medium batch.
We'd be like, that whole room over there is just going to be
a small batch in a sense of, putting your product on 100 retailers, 50 retailers, and you're doing a small batch. It worked for big companies when they do a release of something special, a small batch, but they have the other brands that they continue doing during the year. But small people like me, if we just try to do a small batch all the time, it will be pretty difficult. We were at the show last year, and one of my wholesale customers mentioned that he met good people in the show, in the trade show, with great cigars, but two of them he called back to reorder, and they were out of cigars.
Oh wow!
So that's a 25,000 cigar batch, 50,000 cigar batch.
So it might be easier to come to market with a small batch, but in the long run, it actually puts you at a disadvantage if you're trying to establish yourself.
Correct. Correct.
Or at least that's how I see it.
Correct. Correct.
So when did you go down to Nicaragua? I didn't know if you were even down there right now.
I moved down here last year with the family, with the dog, everybody.
So
Like-
you live there now.
I'm living right here now. Yeah.
I did not know that. I thought you were still in Ybor.
No, Karen, my right hand, and she's doing an amazing job.
Karen is great.
She's amazing. I remember asking myself how I was going to grow in business if I couldn't find anybody that I can rely on. And when I stopped complaining about it and visualizing, I attract a barista, a female barista, that I thought I was going to fire her in 2 weeks because she was too shy. She couldn't even talk to customers. And next thing you know, she's my right hand.
That's awesome, man. It's funny how that works out. You
Yep.
know, somebody that you think's not going to make it is now your right-hand man.
Yeah, because the amount of detail that she was putting into the store, the cigars, labels, she would be able to spot when product it wasn't up to standards. It really caught my attention. I said, wow, it's difficult to find passionate individuals that they just got here to the store, to the industry, and they're already showing so much care.
That's awesome.
So that was
So how long have you been living down there, Yanko?
I moved August last year.
August of last year. So you're looking at like what, 7-8 months now.
Mm-hmm.
How's that change been? You love it, don't you?
Yes. It's making me grow because you're out of your comfort zone. It's okay, to be most of the, it's tobacco land. There's a lot going on, but I'm concentrating on starting a new business here, so it's taking a lot of my energy. We got approved by a big company down here, cigar company, and I don't want to mention their name into it. It's already solid, to make them 10,000 boxes a month. So
wow, good for you.
Thank you. But
congratulations, man. That's huge.
Thank you.
You see how Yanko just brushes over like this huge accomplishment, like, he's a modest man, but when it comes right down to it, like, this didn't happen by accident.
No. You're right.
I mean, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of example of your work. It takes trustworthiness. I mean, you gotta go out and perform before somebody trusts you with that.
No, it's such a, now that you mention it, and I've been so laser focused on getting things going. And thanks to meetings like this and great conversations in the cigar lifestyle, you get to reflect and appreciate and observe from the outside. And yes, for coming in here last year, building the shop, bringing the laser cutters, all the equipment. December showing 7 different bitolas, 7 different sizes boxes to the company. The company saying, yeah, sure, here's the art, make the art. They send the boxes to Miami and they got approved. It's like, wow, you only see that on movies.
Right. And I got to tell you, I didn't even know you had the sun-grown in the 5x42. And holy crap, that's like my new favorite cigar. I you know what? Jay from the Leaf came by last night and I gave him one and I was telling him this is a change your life cigar. And I was told earlier today that he put in an order for some 5x42s. That is an amazing cigar, Yanko.
And you know what is funny, Rob? That cigar when it was fresh, it wasn't. It was good, but there were other better than that one. And I have 3 bundles of those here in Esteli that I shipped. And I've been having that as a morning cigar, and I was mistaken. That cigar has so much flavor.
I smoked it last night with the bourbon, Yanko.
And when you sent me the text about the 5x40, I said, I think he's talking about the Corona. And it wasn't a coincidence that I was smoking Coronas. And I said, man, he's right. They're pretty good.
Man, I feel like when I'm smoking that ring gauge, I am just getting the perfect blend of filler, binder, and wrapper all in one.
Yeah, it was a legendary Bitola before the existence of the Robusto. Because you're right. You get a lot more taste of the wrappers.
Well, we were talking about it last week on the show. I mean, I've been going on about this cigar to everybody. And what I love about it also is, you know, a 5. Did you say it's a 5x40 or 42?
42.
Okay. So 5x42, and you get all this flavor. It pairs great with either coffee or bourbon. But because of the Vitola, you're not smoking on it for 2 hours. And it allows you to move on to the next cigar and get a whole different perspective. And I told everybody on the show, I was like, I wish everybody made this Vitola. Because, you know, when we hang out and smoke cigars, sometimes we might smoke 3, 4, 5 cigars in a night. Well, if you had a 5x42 and all these cigars, it would just be a lot easier to go from one cigar to the next. You know what I mean? And get to experience that.
No. I'm 100% with you. If I don't time myself, I will be always smoking Robusto. Always. That's what I lean into it. And then Coronas with the Corona, I enjoy it. I enjoy the same as you. But I guess being smoking Robustos for so long, it leaves me hanging. It makes me feel like, where's my cigar? Yanko, you already smoked it. It was a Corona.
And that's one of the other cigar. Like, is your favorite Vitola the Robusto?
Yes.
Okay, so that's pretty much been mine up until probably, you know, I don't know, 2 years ago. And then I started doing the Corona Extra, and the Lonsdale. Like, if you give me a 6x40, 6x40, that all those, like, give me a little more longer since it's a smaller ring gauge. But something else that I noticed is you can't smoke a Corona too fast.
No.
Because you don't want to get it too hot.
No, it gets spongy. It gets all smooshy. Yep.
Yeah, and for me, I even noticed that, like, if I really take my time and enjoy it, I get the full flavor, to where if I smoke it too fast, I start losing that intense flavor.
It's one of the cigars, all the cigars you got to be careful with temperature, and especially thinner Bitolas, you got to be more careful on your draw, how fast you puffing, because you overheat such a small cylinder a lot faster than a 54 or 56.
Right. So let me ask you this, Yanko. What's it been like moving from America to Nicaragua? I mean, it's a different culture.
It's a switch, it's a switch. When you get to the airport here, you have to automatically switch and understand the traffic is different, that it's a slower pace. Don't be, trying to rush the guy in front of you. They're going to take the sweet time to drive. And the days are a lot shorter. They are a lot shorter because everybody finish at 5:30. No excuses. So by 6:30, everything is done. So next thing you know, you're spending more time with your cigars. You're spending more time in the balcony smoking, reflecting on life. And when you go back to the U.S., it takes you about 3 or 4 days to get out of your house. because everything's going so fast. Everybody's in such a rush. There's 6 cars in one lane, another 6 cars in the other lane, and here it's just 2 lanes, you know. And
Are
life
the
is
2 lanes going opposite directions, or is it
yeah.
2 on
No,
each
no,
side?
one and one, yeah, one and
Oh,
six.
wow.
That's it. That's it. So
You get behind a cattle truck, you're going to be a minute.
that's it. You don't see anything else, just the kind of truck.
So
So
tell me about the food, though. How about the food? Are you loving the food down there?
it's a lot. We kind of learned they're not in such a hurry to grow their chickens. So chicken is really tender, it's really buttery. Same things with meat. It's I have the wife, so she does a lot of the cooking, but they're a lot into beef. They do a lot of beef in the grill, or they do a lot of cattle in here. So, and they got the rice and beans, the tortillas, but their good stuff is the tobacco. They have amazing tobacco.
Well, I
was
mean, it
talking
sounds
to-
like a much more simplified way of living.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, I think you mm, and hopefully we'll get there. No, once you get your design and prepare your comfort zone, I think I will stay longer times in here. It's a lot. It's a lot quiet and relaxing. Even that everybody's honking, everybody. There's a lot of noise in the city. Hopefully, at some point, I will move more like into the mountains. And the mountain from here from the shop or the middle of the town to the mountains, we're talking about 20 minutes.
Oh,
It's not
wow.
that crazy. For them, they go, wow, 20 minutes. That's a long way. I said, no, 20 minutes in the U.S. is nothing.
I've never lived closer than a half hour to my job. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to get out of the city. I don't want to be in the city 20 minutes. I used to drive an hour and a half one way, Yanko.
To be out of the yeah.
And that was when I lived in the Houston area. I was like, I hated it, but I also hated making that drive every day.
Yeah.
So what time do you go to bed down there?
We go to bed at 9:30. We are up at 4:50 to go to the
Wow.
gym. So I can start early here. It's different. Down there, everything's taken care for me. In here, I gotta work hard.
That's good though.
Yeah, yeah.
So when are you coming back up to go to PCA?
The 14th.
The 14th.
Be back for 2 weeks and then come back here.
And so let me ask you this. Is this a permanent move, do you think?
I'm thinking. I'm telling myself 4 years.
Okay.
4 years. I don't believe on finding someone that you can trust. I believe on building someone that you can trust. And you don't build someone that you can trust in 2 months or 6 months. To establish that relation, I should be here for some time. And I think it's
Go ahead.
I think it's a good break for my kids too. My kids they change a lot. When they come here, they don't have the same conversations. They don't have the same needs. They're happy riding the bikes in the street, you know, simpler stuff like when I was a kid. And here you see that a lot more.
That's awesome. Because you don't get that in 2024 in America very many places. What are you smoking right now? Is that a Robusto?
This is a Sobrino box press torpedo.
Ah,
5 inches by 54 box press. It's a
You know what-
medium to full, really complex. I had like always, late lunch around 4, and it was good. So I said, let me smoke a good full flavor cigar.
so I got to tell you this, Yanko. I've got a box of Tabanero Candela coming. Tell me about the Candela. You know, I've never had the Candela that you make, and I've only had 2 other full-blown Candelas, and one of them I did not like at all, and the other one was like, okay. but I have very high hopes for the Tabanero Candela.
Candela, for people who like my candelas, this is what they say. And later on, I will share what I believe. They say that it's well balanced, that it's a rush of sweetness, that it's really sweet, and the ones that they had from other companies, mines are a lot more complex. And it can be true because it's a Robusto Connecticut with a Candela wrapper. So
Oh,
it's a good blend in there. It's not
okay.
just
Well,
a mild
I'm
cigar.
excited to know that because I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not just a mild cigar with a Candela wrapper. So it's
Gotcha.
pretty complex. To me, now is my personal opinion, I love Connecticut, but not to the point of Candela. Candela is like a Connecticut in steroids. You know, it's too much sweet, too much going on for my palate. But we have to do them every year because customers love it. So
Well, I'm excited to try it
I leave it
because
up to you.
the only two Candelas I've had, the first one I had literally tasted like I was smoking hay. And I
Yeah,
was like, that's pungent. You know what I mean?
that happens when you just do a mild cigar and you underestimate the Candela is a sweeter wrapper because it's still under fermented, just barn cured, and you think, well, with a Candela, I'm just gonna do a mild cigar, just like a Connecticut mild cigar, and it gets hazy like that. So I guess I don't know if it was a mistake or we were being lazy. And when they asked me about Candela, I said same blend of Connecticut, just put the Candela wrapper, and it was a success.
Very good. I didn't even know you had those. So I'm excited to have that. Uh, but I'm going to tell you right now that 5x42, that's already in the running in the top 10 cigars of the year for me.
I'm glad. I'm glad. I have to be honest with you. It's a cigar that, as a brand owner, we have it in the portfolio, but we don't put a lot of energy into it. We think we let ourselves be driven by what's going on. That everybody's looking for value. Everybody's looking to buy a big cigar to spend 3 hours, and I don't agree on that.
Yeah,
I
I don't either. You know how I am.
I don't agree on that. But so you don't pay a lot of attention to the small cigar, but now you're being inspiration for me to keep my Coronas alive and get them better.
Keep the Coronas coming. Don't do away with the Coronas. I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, like I'm so excited about it. Everybody I talk to, I'm like, have you tried this? Have you tried this? You got to try this.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And I belong to a group of guys and female that we smoke together. We try to smoke together every Saturday morning. And so when I go in, I'm like, hey, this is what I brought. You guys got to try this because this is going to blow your socks off. And I've got a lot of good feedback from it. I mean, I told you, Jay smoked it last night and he went to order them again today.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
So
I'm
go ahead.
I shipped. I was having a hard time not finding, buying. It kind of makes me sad that I got so many cigar tables and presses and my drop master, everything in Tampa. And I said, I'm not buying that again here. So I shipped a table, my drop master, a press, because I want to start making cigars soon. And, start testing new stuff. Because I definitely would like for next year, for PCA next year, have something ready for momentum, the new the new cigar that I've been thinking about it, and I already got the labels, I already got the cigar bands, everything is print. So I want to start working on those new blends.
Very cool. I can't wait to see what you're doing next.
So we're excited.
So when you come up to the States for PCA, how long will you be up here before you head back home?
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Oh wow, that's not long.
Yeah. We be back on October for Halloween. My kids are a fan of Halloween. They love it. So we'll be back in October, spend November, December, and then come back January 1st or January 2nd here in Nicaragua.
I got you. So let me ask you this: Nicaragua looks like it's had an effect on that badass looking mustache and goatee you got going on too. By the way, looks good, man. Looks real good.
Thank you, brother. It keeps getting wider and wider and wider.
Oh, hey, you know what? I shaved off all the hair of my face earlier this week, and Yanko, I got a shaver that when I cut my face or my hair off my face, I put on this bib that goes around my neck, and then it has these attachments that attach to these two suction things on the mirror. Yes, you know that.
Yeah.
Like I never had one, but I got one like 3 months ago, and my wife loves it because there's not hair going everywhere.
It's not a mess.
But the funny thing is, when I went outside to dump it, I was like, it's all gray and white.
Yeah, there's no going back. And I try to die.
It looks good on you, though. It looks good on you.
Thank you, thank you. My wife keeps telling me, when you gonna give us a break? When you gonna give us a break? They said, you know, you want to see your face. I said, well, after the show in Vegas, I give you guys a break.
Well, I was gonna say it looks really good on you, and I mean, I'm jealous. Like if I can't grow that. I mean, when I grow it, it's just kind of all over the place.
Thank you.
And so I also know that you are a man of fitness. You said you get up at 4:30 to go work out.
Yeah. This long wait for the order and everything, going to the gym more than ever, it helped me to cope and stay strong mentally.
Yeah, I mean, I watched. I don't know if you know who Gary Vandercheck is, but I'm a big fan of his. He's a company owner and he does a lot of motivational speeches. Younger guy, but one of the things that he was talking about was he absolutely hates to work out, but he decided that he needed to start working out because it was part of the overall well-being. If you're not working out, you're missing something. Do you find that to be true?
True. I don't think I never been the guy of going to the gym to look good or pick up chicks. I never been the guy. But when I got to 33, 34, 35, when I started falling in love with cigars, I said, you know what? I want to prolong this as long as I can. So what can I do for? And I started reading, and I said, look, walking every day is not going to cut it. Running, my knees are not going to be that good in 10 years. So I heard something about trying to keep muscle weight, and I said, okay, that means weightlifting. So we're going to start doing weights.
Awesome, man. Well, that's awesome. Well, so I hadn't talked to you in a minute. So I recently just bought a road bike, and there's a bunch of the guys from the Leaf here that ride. So we get together and we go ride, and now I got to step it up and start riding by myself too. You know what I mean? But I went out and rode hard this morning, and when I got done, I was wiped out.
For how long you went?
What's that?
For how long you went?
Oh, I only rode for like 30 minutes. But when you're riding hard and you got to realize, Yanko, I have not done any exercise in 30 years. Okay. So I'm building my way up.
Whatever you're doing, keep doing it because you're looking great, man.
Well, thank you. The other thing is I got to start working out though. I was talking to a good friend of mine that's here in the studio, and I was like, now that I'm riding a bike, I got to do that at least 3 days a week. But now I need to get in the gym and start lifting some weights.
Yeah, because every after 50, I think 10 years, we will lose 10 pounds and 10 pounds and 10 pounds of body muscle, not just, weight.
Yanko, I turned 55 on Tuesday.
Oh boy. Happy birthday.
Thank you. But 55, woo! So
I'm
that's
a few
kind of-
weeks from there. I'm 45.
yeah. I know you're a young man. I'm jealous. Not only is the beard good, you also have a much longer life to live.
Well, we'll see.
Oh no,
We'll
trust
see.
me. So, well, let me ask you about this though. Like when you're pairing, I know down there in Esteli, you've got amazing coffee, right?
Yeah, we got good coffee.
Now, what about spirits? Do they have? I mean, what's the main spirit people drink down there? Is it rum or is it
Flor de
bourbon?
Caña. Flor de Caña, 12 years and 18 years is the most common that you see, which is a rum.
18-year-old rum is common.
Yeah, well, for the cigar lovers.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, it is good.
So,
It is.
so tell me. In fact, just this last weekend, my group that gets together, we did a tequila and mezcal tasting because I've always like I don't like tequila. I don't want to drink tequila. And it was like, okay, well, we're going to do sipping tequilas. It's a little bit different. You know, you're not at the bar doing shots, having a party.
Yeah, doing shots. Yeah.
Right. And so the next time we do it, we're going to be doing rum. So you
Well,
got any recommendations for me?
Put in your list my favorite, which is Sacapas XO.
Oh, Sam over here. He's like, I have that. I'm bringing that.
All right. Sacapas XO with any San Andres Mexican wrapper. You should try that. With any cigars that has a lot of cocoa present in it, that Sacapas XO, it would be really nice. It's aged on bourbon barrels, so it's really nice.
And a lot of rums are not aged that long, but some of the rums like you're talking about is actually aged.
Yeah, that is my favorite, and I think you get to enjoy more different cigars with that rum because of the aging.
Okay. So, what do you have planned for the next 4 years? Like, what are you going to be doing down in Nicaragua besides getting buff and growing the most amazing beard and mustache?
Thank you. Well, as a kid, I guess because my mother always telling me I grew up with a single mom, so most of the time she was telling me to dream, dream, dream. So I thought I was going to invent a rocket or something monumental as a kid. And well, that chance is, I think I'm leaving that dream through this little box shop because I brought a new option to the industry of this laser cutting, a lot of automation, and I'll be able to do boxes pretty quick, pretty fast, and it will be at a really competitive price because there's never been plywood used on packaging the way we are doing it. Plywood is used only for the top and the bottom of the box. The rest has to be solid wood and many hands, kind of like making a cigar to make boxes. So on the next 4 years, I will concentrate on this to be running perfectly. But middle of this year, when I come back from Vegas, I want to start my own production of cigars. So I want to do both at the same time in the next 4 years.
Wow. That's a big goal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big goal. I love that Yanko is just so modest that he's like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. That's a lot of work. You're leaving out everything it takes to do that.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but I have experience before that when everything is running and everything is going smooth and I have nothing to do, I get really depressed.
Yanko, I'm the same way. My wife says you're a workaholic, and I'm like, I think a workaholic sounds bad. I just like to be busy.
Yeah. I don't think I'm that kind of workaholic. I think it's more of getting creative and executing your ideas, and not being asking anybody or trying to find an investor to do something simple. Have that freedom of execute ideas, of using your imagination. That's what I enjoy.
And if you guys that are watching this, you haven't had a box of Tabaneros, Yanko makes his own boxes and they are phenomenal. Like when you see, it's night and day. Like when you see Yanko's boxes, you know they're Yanko's boxes because nobody else has boxes like these.
It's funny because the first time I brought the boxes to Nicaragua, a gentleman that is in the industry here with the Oliva Tobacco Company, he saw the box and he's been in the industry 40 years. And he said, "Did you register these boxes already?" I said, "Register? That costs a lot of money. If I register the boxes, I can't buy plywood." Joking. He said, "You better register the boxes. Because as soon as you start making boxes here in Nicaragua, everybody and their mother are going to be copying this technology." So I said, "Okay." And so what I'm saying is that pretty soon I'm not going to be the only one making these boxes, which is fine. I think is great to be the first one. It's great to bring something new, and I'm if I
I
can
think you will
inspire.
definitely have a lot of copycats. There's always copycats when you're doing something really good.
Thank you, thank you. That's true. That's true. That's true.
But the main thing is, though, and this has just been my experience, but when you have the copycats always try to cut corners.
You're right. You're right. They don't. It's
They
when
don't
I
have the
hear.
pride. They don't have the pride. It's
Yeah,
yours. You know what I mean?
yeah. And here you see a lot of just like Tampa, you see a lot of second and third generations, and I just make this comment before because there was some guys here that used to work in another box shop, and they shared with me that the owner is the son of so and so. So he gets the orders to his doorsteps. He doesn't have to be looking for orders. And I said, God bless him. God bless him. Who knows if my kid's going to be in the same scenario when they grow up. But for now, I'm so proud that I'm the first one, that I'm first generation, that I'm going through all the struggles that I'm going. It feels great. It feels fucking good.
Heck yeah, man. I mean, you can call it what you want to, but like if you ask Yanko, he's probably like, I just stumbled upon this because he's modest, but he's a pioneer. Like he came up with ideas and said, I'm going to go with this and I'm going to do my own thing, even though nobody else is doing it.
Hmm. And it was the same thing with cigars. I'm not from tobacco country in Cuba. I'm from the capital, from Havana. I had family in Pinal del Rio that I visited a few summers. So I was, when I was a small kid, I was exposed to the tobacco fields, the barns that were pretty intimidating. Those really tall barns with those leaf hangings and that really strong aroma. Uh, and I have no clue I was going to be in this industry. But when I got to Ybor City and I learned the story of Vicente Martinez Ybor, the Spaniard that he would tell everybody that he was Cuban, but really he was a Spaniard, and he never grew up around tobacco. He fell in love with it in Havana. I said, you know what? This is a pretty noble industry, and it's really easy if you're a passionate individual to get connected with it, and especially in Ybor City, where it used to be cigar capital of the world. So I started my ventures in Ybor City with a restaurant. And a lot of the customers who come from lunch, they were from the cigar shops. And an old man, Ruben, a master roller, used to bring me cigars for me to try. So I guess trying my first few cigars from someone that knew exactly what he was doing, it kind of prepared my palate. And one day I said, you know what, I'm not made for this for a restaurant. So I think I'm gonna try cigars. And then I discovered the whole story about Ybor. I said, I'm getting into cigars. And when I got into it, I was the joke of the town, in the little town, because I was the guy with the restaurant, and he was trying to get into cigars. So it's funny. The 10 years later, I'm the store in the center of the little town that sells more cigars. The guy
And
from
don't you think that though it kind of gave you like your path to get here? One is it gave you inspiration. Like, because people thought you, oh man, dude did a restaurant. Now he's doing cigars. He's the joke. You know what I mean? And you were like, no, I'm serious. When I dive in head first, I'm gonna take this all the way. And so it kind of gave you that inspiration that you might not
yeah,
have had otherwise. But then also it was like you had the opportunity to show everybody that you were serious.
oh yes. I had something wasn't clicking in my life. Younger, and I said I must be doing something wrong because everything that I try, well, I have to sell it or I have to close it, and I finally realized that I needed to find something that I felt I had purpose, that I wasn't chasing anything. So cigars kind of humble me because you start making cigars. You got your 1, 2 rollers. First week, $60 sale. Second week, $120 sale. And I said, well, at this rate, how long is it going to take me? 100 years?
You're like, I'm gonna be broke.
at this at this pace. Oh boy,
You
it
thought
was fun.
maybe it wasn't gonna work because you're not making any money.
Yep. Yeah. No, I would
But you
show up,
kept
man.
pressing forward. You kept
Yep.
pressing forward.
Yep. Yep.
And so let me ask you this, Yanko. Down in Nicaragua, I mean, that's where there's so many legends in the cigar industry. So being down there all the time, are you meeting other people from the community in the manufacturing part of the cigar world?
Yes, I meant to. I keep. I am always working on a relationship with AJ Fernandez because I really admire the guy. He has allowed me into his factory. And when I come to the U.S., I go and visit. When I'm leaving, I go and say goodbye because definitely he's a mentor alive. Most of the mentors that I have, I haven't met them. Oh, they're already dead, but this one is alive. So I try to keep in touch with him.
And he's not that old, right?
No, he's my age. He's 45.
Wow. Whenever I first found out the age of AJ Fernandez, I was like, holy
Yeah,
crap,
it's
I thought
crazy.
this dude had to be like 80 years old.
Dude, 3,000 employees, 5 factories,
Wow.
uh, grows tobacco, wrapper. He's something. I think people like him only are born every, I don't know, every 1,000 years.
He's a prodigy.
He's a prodigy. He's a prodigy.
Yeah. I mean, whenever someone told me, because I think it was probably like 4 or 5 years ago, someone told me how old AJ was, and I was like, are you serious? I'd never seen a picture of him, and I had just in my mind thought he had to be like 80 or 90 years old. You know what I mean?
So him, AJ is the one that I try to stay in touch. AJ is really passionate, really passionate. We have that in common. He's a businessman. He means business. You know, a really strong fifth. But he's a person that you go and have a conversation just about tobacco, about cigars. Money's not mentioned or anything, and I like that. I try to avoid conversations or meetings where everything goes into how much you can sell the cigars or if I sell so many. Or I stay away from that because I played that game in the beginning when I was younger, and it didn't take me anywhere. So I like to talk about tobacco, different blends. What are you using on Metepe with Condega? Why you like Viso and Seco, and things like that. And he likes to for me to pick his brain, and I have learned a little bit about fermentation with him. So him and I don't know who else. I'm the type of guy that is home, work, home, back and forth. When people see me in the shop, they go, "Yanko, man, where you been? It's been a long time." I said, "Well, if I'm not here on Ebor, I'm at home."
because you're a family man too.
Yeah, yeah. My kids are small, so any little free time I have, I share with my family.
And how old are your children, Yanko?
Santiago is 7. Valentina, it's 9.
9 and 7.
Yeah, my oldest one, Sebastian, he's 22. He's doing great. He's at home in the U.S. And Valentina Santiago is playing soccer here. He's loving it. He used to play in the U.S. and here's a little more rough, so he's getting he's getting shape.
That's awesome. Hey,
And,
I wanted to give a shout out to Sam. He posted in the chat over here. He had one of your guitar or one of your boxes, Tabanero box, made into a guitar.
yeah, I've seen him before. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, Sam's part of our team. I don't know if you know this, but in June we are doing. Now you're old enough to remember. I hope. Do you remember the old movie Cannonball Run? Burt Reynolds and Dom, what's his name? Dom DeLuise, and it was a race from one side of the country all the way to the other.
Mm-hmm.
And so Cigar Talk is doing a charity race in June, and all the proceeds go to Camp Able, and they do equestrian horses for therapy with disabled children. And so we joined in with that. But here's the deal. It's a 1,200-mile race all within Texas. And the catch is you can only spend $750 on the vehicle. And then once you buy it, you can spend another $750 to fix it up. So hopefully you can make 1,200 miles in this vehicle.
Oh my God. What a quest.
Yeah, so we actually already bought the vehicle. It's a 1992 Chevy Astro van.
Oh my God.
So Sam is our mechanic.
So you're going well prepared.
Well, we figure, hey man, we got a $750 vehicle. We're going to need to take a mechanic with us.
A lot of spares and
yeah, a lot of spares and lots of cans of AC charge because the AC doesn't work quite. And it's in June, and in Texas, you know it's hot in June.
It's hot.
So we're looking forward to doing that.
Awesome.
Hey, and we're going to live stream the whole race, Yanko.
That's good. That'll be motivation.
Be a lot of fun. Well, hey, man, we want to say thank you for jumping in here and hanging out with us on our new edition of Cigar Talk. We just started this a few weeks ago, and you want to hop back in there, Big Larry, but we just started this 3 weeks ago, and so you're only our third guest on the show. And the funny thing is, Yanko, I've had like 3 other cigar manufacturer people be like, yeah, man, I want to do that show. And I was like, I'll get back to you. Gotta wait.
Thank you.
Because I was like, I want to make sure Yanko gets whatever time works for him before we start booking other people.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you. Great to meet you. Thank you very much.
Good to meet you too.
This has been fun. You took me out of what's going on here. So thank you very much. It was the right timing.
Well, one day we would love for you to come to Abilene, Texas, or meet you in Ybor City, or even come down to Nicaragua.
I think with time, I'm working on building a bigger circle in this beautiful industry. I go every year to Milwaukee to have a great group of customers. They invite me every year.
Right.
And we've been doing that, and I enjoy it a lot. As sometimes things come in between, and I go, no, I have to go because I really enjoy it. So I promise you in the coming years, we're going to do it. We're going to do it a lot.
Awesome,
that sounds
man.
Good. Hey, and thanks so much for making such fantastic cigars, such quality products, and thanks for being a sponsor of Cigar Talk.
Thank you. You guys are a great support to the brand, and I can see it on the comments. I can see it on original orders when someone is trying, because you know how much you guys share the passion that we have for cigars. So thank you very much.
Right. Well, we tell everybody nobody sponsors this show that we don't love their cigars, because
And you
we don't
said it.
want
Yeah,
You
we don't
said
want
it
to have to
perfectly.
make up BS about somebody's product. That's
We're not
not who
gonna do
we
it.
are. If we love your product, we're going to talk about it, because we want everybody to have a good experience when they're smoking cigars.
our word is our bond.
Thank you, thank you. And you have no idea how much that compromised the maker, thinking of you guys, thinking that I got to keep doing what I'm doing.
100%.
We
We're going to
appreciate
hold you to that, Yanko.
Yes, we are.
Hey,
Thank
so everybody, if you haven't tried Tabanero Cigars, I'll have a link down below the show for the replays of Yanko's website, and you can go over there and get a sampler pack, or you can buy a box of Coronas, which is what I highly recommend.
He does.
But try them all, because Yanko puts his heart and soul into everything he does. And so when you get one of the Tabanero cigars, you will not regret it. And dude, tell everybody you test draw every cigar.
Yes, yes. Why not? Why not? If you buy a box of
Boom.
20 count, how many cigars do you want to have a good draw on that box?
A 20,
Every single one.
20.
Every
I want a
20.
good
Every
draw.
You don't
single
want
one.
15 or 16
That's
or
right.
12. You want all 20. So they're all going to be, and I like when I bump into a bigger maker in PCA and they look at my face and they go, Yanko, keep it the way you're doing it. I said, okay, thank you. Means that they wish they stay little and not, make it about numbers. So if big, other guys have been around longer than me are telling me to keep it like this, I'll keep it like this.
Don't ever cut the corner of saying, you know what, we're not going to spend the money to test draw.
No.
Because you know what? If I don't understand why everybody doesn't test draw. Well, I do, because it's
I'll
about
tell
the
you
money.
why. I'll
Yeah.
tell you why. Because it's one operator, one machine for 25 bunchers. 25 bunchers. And that's to do 30% of the production. If you want to do 100% of the production, now you're going to have only 10 bunches to that machine. And any big factory down here, it will have between 300 to 500 couples making cigars. So they have to do 30% of the production.
Well, and on the flip side of that too, a lot of manufacturers don't want to throw away what's no good. You know what I mean? They're like, I don't want to throw away that cigar.
Yeah.
That cigar represents a sale.
Well, my experience been when they did a good job and they went through the machine and they spot it, they don't put it in, they don't put it into production. They throw them away. The people that I met. But
Yeah, but a lot of people don't want to lose that. That's revenue that they could be bringing in, but instead, because they will be like you want to make sure we get a good cigar.
yeah.
So if it doesn't pass the draw test,
No.
what do you do? What do you do with that cigar at that point?
What you're supposed to do is chop it and sell it as a short filler, $1 a pound. That's what you do.
And that's
what you're supposed to do.
Is there any profit left in that when you sell it for $1 a pound, or is that break even, or is that lose money?
No, you lose money. You lose money.
Yeah, so people don't want to do that, so they'll just roll the dice.
No, and I heard someone advising me because I was getting rid of 3,800 cigars. They were so tight, so because
Wow.
they worked the binder really wet. And he said, why don't you mix it with the other cigars? I said, you crazy? Are you crazy?
See?
Those are my customers, my clients.
And your name
Thank
is on
you.
every cigar.
Thank you. There's a cigar maker out there right now and they make some pretty good cigars. I'm not going to mention any names. They make some pretty good cigars, but I've stopped smoking them because I had so many problems with them.
But also, this cigar has your name on it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you're not going to send out crap, because when I smoke something and it says Maceda right there on it, you don't want me to go, oh, well, Maceda doesn't care about his customers.
No. You're right. and I want this brand to transcend, hopefully, to my next generation. So,
Good deal. We hope so too.
Well,
thank
we're
you.
looking forward to seeing what you do over the next 4 years being down in Nicaragua. And you never know. Not this year, I already know, because my year is already booked travel wise. But next year, we might even come down to Nicaragua.
Hey, that'll be a lot of fun. I hope for next year we're already cranking cigars in our shop
Awesome.
down here.
Well,
Good deal.
Yanko, thank you again for coming and hanging out with us.
Thank you.
And we wish you the best of luck. And I don't think you need any luck. You just keep doing what you're doing.
No, I need what you guys are doing. That good energy and have my back. That's what I need.
100%.
You got it. You can count
We
on us.
always have Yanko's back. Maceda Cigars,
Yes.
Tabanero,
Tabanero.
that's where you got to go. I mean, he's making a cigar. I already told you guys, top 10 for my year already. I already know.
I'm getting ready. I'm getting into this Mike next.
There you go. That's
Hey, well, have a great
20 millimeter bullet of a flavor.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I can do it.
Hey, well, have safe travels to PCA, and hope you have a good time, and I hope it's a lot of success for you. I'm sure it will be, just because you don't get a man of his word as often as what you provide. So people
Thank
should
you.
take note of that.
Thank you.
Victor Honeycutt says he hopes to get some of these in his neck of the woods.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Tell us where you are, Victor.
Yeah, let us know where you are, and we'll reach out to your shop, and we'll try to make that happen, Victor. So, hey, Yanko, have a great evening, and we'll talk to you soon, brother. Thank you so much.
Great to
Good
meet you.
evening,
Thank
guys.
you. Cheers to you.
Great. Same here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Take care, brother. All right, guys, that was Yanko from Tabanero Cigars.
What a
Hope you
great
enjoyed the interview. Let's give a shout out to some of the people that were watching. We got Emu, which is Emmanuel. We got Victor. Oh, he's down in El Paso.
Hey, my neck of the woods.
So Larry spent a lot of time in his
Sure
career down in El Paso.
Yes.
He knows some of the cigar shops.
I
So
do.
we'll see if we can't make that happen. And in the meantime, go to Tabanero Cigars. If you go to Google and type up Tabanero Cigars, you will find some. And then, hey, Fabian, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Fabian's been, I've been chatting with him some, and a great guy, great friend of the Leaf. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as Jax goes, hey, Jax, it's always
rocks.
good to see Jax rocks. I mean, he's a beast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then we want to say thank you to Mitchell. Let's see, Cigar Adventurer. We haven't seen that dude since TPE of 22 or something.
Wow.
But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this week's live show. Next week, we're going to have you another guest, and I believe it'll be on my birthday.
Oh, boy.
Whoa. I'll be 55 next week on Tuesday. So we'll be doing the next Cigar Talk live on March 11th. So, guys, y'all have a good week. And until next time,
Life is short. Smoke with a friend.